G'day guys, Jackson Millan, the Wealth Mentor. Hope you're doing well. So I want to record this video to talk around a lot of the conversation that's happening around cryptocurrency and alternative asset classes when it comes to building wealth as a business owner. I'm a big believer that there's really only 3 ways to systematically build wealth as a business owner, and the 4th way needs to be considered, but there are a few key reasons why you shouldn't be relying on the 4th way to be able to manufacture financial freedom. So firstly, as a business owner, there are only 3 predictable ways for you to manufacture wealth. One is through your business, the second one is through property, and the third one is through shares. And the first one being your business is that your business is the best wealth creation vehicle that you can ever have. You are part of an elite club of the most wealthy individuals throughout history who share one thing in common with you. That is that they are business owners. So if we can use your business as a wealth creation vehicle, we can maximize the profitability, we can maximize the resale value, then you're going to be able to have a really great chance of being able to manufacture financial freedom a whole lot faster than other people. The second thing is property. Good quality blue chip property is always going to perform because it's always going to be highly demanded. If people are continuing to increase their household income, if people are continuing to increase their wealth, then they're always going to want to increase their property. And for this reason, if we're buying in good quality blue chip areas, we're consistently going to get at least a 4% return on that property. Because we're typically leveraging against that property, 4% on the overall asset, given that you're probably only contributing 10 or 20%, or maybe you're even just using equity on other properties, meaning that you're contributing nothing, then this can mean substantially magnified returns for you. And the third one is shares. We should be systematically getting money into the share market because the reality is we're buying pieces in other proven business models that give us the ability to have full transparency over their financials. And therefore we have the ability to have a passive stake in the outcome and share in the spoils of the rewards that they achieve as a result of growing and scaling their business. Now, I understand that many younger people particularly are losing faith in the traditional financial services industry and these particular wealth creation vehicles that we've discussed. And many people are retreating into cryptocurrency and these other alternative assets because they're scared. They're scared of what's happening. They're scared of things being too slow. They're looking to make a quick buck, whatever their reason might be. But what we've got to understand is that these other alternative asset classes, particularly cryptocurrency, are still so new and they lack the true fundamentals or the real understanding of their actual intrinsic value, which my personal belief is that they have none. And for that reason, it presents a substantial amount of risk and is ultimately speculating on your investment. Now, this isn't to say that you should exclude it completely from your portfolio. I'm not going to make a recommendation to say that you should be having it in your portfolio, but if you are going to be investing in different asset classes, it's all about having the right strategy and the appropriate diversification so you don't keep all of your eggs in one basket. I talk about this in my book, Enjoy the Journey, Creating Wealth and Living the Life That You Desire, is that we essentially have a 3-tier strategy to your portfolio. The base that we call it, we refer to this as your blue chip portfolio. And this is where we should be buying good quality blue chip property. We should be buying index funds that are diversified in typically large cap and medium cap stocks. And we should be focusing on these investments as the foundation of your portfolio. The ultimate objective is to have enough wealth in this to be able to provide for your basic essentials of living. So let's say your necessities of life cost you $5,000 a month. You should be looking to build around about $1 million in your base portfolio. The second part is what we would call ascend, and that's the middle of your portfolio. And this is where we can start to take a little bit more risk. We can focus on high growth. This is where we get into small cap stocks. Maybe you're buying property in areas that are gentrifying. These are things that are a little bit more risky, but we can hold them for the long term, but they still have the intrinsic fundamentals that are going to allow us to manufacture wealth for the future. The objective here is that we should be building enough that will allow us to essentially push forwards for the future. So if we can do this, then that will ultimately allow us to essentially cover our nice-to-haves, our lifestyle expenses. And let's say, for example, your living expenses are $5K and your lifestyle expenses are $3K, then we should be aiming to have a total passive income from these 2 layers of your portfolio to a total of $8K a month. And then we get to the summit. The summit is, if you choose to, your speculative portfolio. This is where we can have a small amount of money, or as much as you're prepared to take, of money that you can afford to lose. Because the reality is your first 2 parts of your portfolio should allow you to achieve financial freedom. So if this is the case, then we have a top part where it's essentially play money. It could pay off really well, and that allows us to then push through to financial abundance. Or if we lose it, it's not going to mean that we have to cost us years, if not decades, to try and catch up and get back on track for our goals. So these are just some simple words of wisdom, guys. Just to make sure that you're careful in terms of your strategy. Don't dive into anything without making an informed decision, and make sure that you get the right advice.